everyone, I'm Debbie with Book and Bujo, where I talk about all things books, bullet journals, and stationery. Today I want to go over another installment in my 26 in 2026 series, and that is a series I want to continue and complete in 2026. Now, I did try to align these series up with my 26 and 2026 books and other books that are on challenges and things like that. We'll see how closely I got those aligned and how some of them are just on here because I want to read them, even though they're not in anything else. Yeah, so let's start with series number 1 in no particular order. That is the Forsworn Oath series by David Estes, and I am up to the second book in the series, which is Heartsworn. There's 5 books in the series. These are high epic fantasies. They're actually all probably over 800 pages because I'm pretty sure the first one was 800. This one's 816, so there are some good chunky books, and I did get this one on my 2026 list, the first book anyway. So I want to at least complete this book, if not complete the entire series by the end of the year. Next up is the Percy Jackson universe, the overarching universe, pretty much everything that Rick Riordan has written for like the middle grade young adult in the mythology area. And I want to say there's like over 30, so 30 plus books in the series. That includes Percy Jackson and the Olympians and the Greek heroes. The Greek heroes and all the ones with like Jason and the Kane Chronicles, where they're in Brooklyn. It's more the Egypt mythology there. So all of those books, I have finished most of them. I think I have about 7 or 8 left. And some of them are like the 9 worlds. They're just kind of like the companion novels that go with them, kind of like little fun little tidbits and things like that. Demigods and magicians, some of those. So I just finished the Chalice of the Gods, so I'm up to the next one for that. And I still need to read The Sun and the Star, and there's a couple others, but yeah, I'm excited to continue with that series and hopefully finish it soon. Number 3 is The Moon Dwellers by David Estes. Now, I did just finish reading the first book in December, and so then I want to get to the second book in the trilogy next year and hopefully finish the whole trilogy. Number 4 on my list is The Memoirs of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan. I have finished the first 2. I do want to continue with the series, and I did support this one on Kickstarter, and hopefully that one comes in 2026. We'll see. Yeah, so there's, I believe, 6 main books, and then I think there's 3 novellas, and I've read the first 2 of the main books. Number 5 on the list is Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. Now I'm almost done. I think I've gotten through, I'm up to I've read the first 3 books, and so I have the 4th and 5th book left still to read. And I'm almost done with the series. I don't necessarily, it's not my favorite series out of all of the series on my list or that I have read, but I've been enjoying it enough to want to continue the series, and there's just a couple left, so I want to get that one finished. And then we have A Chorus of Dragons by Jen Lyons. Again, I finished the first 2 books. Did I finish the third? I think it's just the first 2. So I have 3 more to go in this one, and I want to at least get 1 more read this year. And then number 7 is The Lyra Novels by Patricia C. Weirdy, and I have read the first 3, so I have 2 more left to go. And then we come to The Gateway Trackers by E.E. Holmes, and I have read the first 4, and there are 9 in the series, so I have 5 more left to go. They are quick and easy paranormal romance type reads, and they are just a lot of fun. I have enjoyed my time with the first 4 books, and I can't wait to see what the other 5 bring. And then 9th on the list is Gunmetal Gods by Ismail Akhtar, and this is an amazing fantasy mythology series set in the Middle East, and it is so good. I've gotten through the first 2 books so far, Gunmetal Gods and Conqueror's Blood, and I believe there are 6 books in the series, including the novella, I believe. And I have all of them, so I definitely want to get to them. And then we move into a fun one, and that is The Band by Nicholas Eames, and I have these amazing broken binding editions. They're so cute. I love them. I have read Kings of the Wild, loved it, absolutely loved it. Nicholas Eames knocked it out of the park for me. And I still need to get to Bloody Rose, the second book in this series, and I'm excited to read this. So it has a lot of the same characters from this one that kind of move into this one, but we're following a different band of warriors. So fun. If you like sarcasm and pop culture references and just a good time with monsters and monster fighters, then I would recommend The Band. And then we move into a series that is part of my personal challenge for Herkiet, and that is to read every Bengali book I own. And I have one book left and a novella, I think. I think it was one book and one novella left in the Emaneska series by Bengali, and that is Dead Stars Part 2, and then No Fairy Tales, I believe, is, I think that's the novella I still have to read. And I have loved this series so much, and I cannot wait to see what happens to Farden in this last book. Continuing with the Bengali books that I own, that is the Skulusin Chronicles, and currently there are 2 books in the series. I'm not sure if there's going to be more or not, but there's at least 2, and it starts with The Forever King, and I do own both of them. I hope to finish this series in 2026, and this is a continuation, kind of a companion series to Emaneska. Next up is the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee. Now, I did read Jade City. I liked it, but did not love it. Sorry for everyone out there that love the Greenbone Saga. Just the whole kind of mafia gang warlord kind of vibe isn't really my favorite thing. I thought it was written well and the characters were very interesting, and so I do want to continue with the series. And I need to get to Jade War next, and then of course finish with Jade Legacy. So hopefully I can get this one finished in 2026, but at the minimum, at least read Jade War. Series number 14 on the list is one where the first book I did put on my 26 in 2026 list as well, and that is the Lycanus trilogy, and starting with The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. And of course it's a trilogy, so there's 3 books. Next, I want to continue with the Saga graphic novel series by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. And I believe my library has volume 12 in, but I think there's still a couple more coming out, and I don't think it's quite finished yet, but I want to at least get to volume 12 and catch up to where I can actually find them. So I know I finished volume 11, and I know I can get volume 12, possibly volume 13, but I think that's about as far as I can go currently. And continuing with the graphic novel series, I want to keep reading Something is Killing the Children by James Tinian IV, and I believe I just finished volume 4, and I think there's 9 total. Not sure if there's going to be any more coming out, but there's at least 9 that I saw available, and I want to continue with those. Next up is actually a nonfiction series, and that is The Stoic Virtues by Ryan Holiday. And I know I have read 1 book in the series so far, and I think it was actually book 2. Not that you have to read these in any kind of order, but I do want to read book 1, which is Courage is Calling, and this is by Ryan Holiday. And I know the last one is Wisdom Takes Work, and I think the 3rd book is Right Things Right Now, and the second one I think is something about discipline. And that's the one I've read. So I am excited to get to these. Series number 18 on the list is The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. I'm about halfway through, and I believe the next book I am up to is Network Effect. And I love this series, and I cannot wait to keep going with it and see where it goes. Series number 19 on the list is The Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu, and I need to start with The Grace of Kings, and then I do have the rest of them right here. So there's 4 of them in total, and I cannot wait to dive into this series. Next is a series that I started. I had read this series. I read the first book in this series before, and I thought it was really fun, quirky, very strange, and I was here for it. And I reread the first book, and then I read the second book in 2025. So in 2026, I need to get to the 3rd book, which is called Circus, and that is the Insanity series by Cameron Jace. And this is an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and it's very interesting, very quirky, but it's fun. Next up is The House Switch by Delham Hawk. I have read the first 2 books and I would like to get to the final 3 sometime in 2026. And then we move into the complete Ronin trilogy. I think there might be 4 books in this series. I think there's the 3 main books and then a novella, I believe. Not positive, but I think. This is by Travis Heerman, and this is high epic fantasy. And this one has the Heart of the Ronin, the Sword of the Ronin, and Spirit of the Ronin. And my husband and I just watched 47 Ronin. It has Keanu Reeves and a whole lot of great actors in there. And didn't realize what a Ronin was. A Ronin is a samurai without a lord or someone to fight for. And that makes this trilogy make a little bit more sense, and I get it a little bit more. So there's definitely going to be some sword action in this series. The next series on my list is one that I started, I think it was 2024 for Halloween. I read the first book, which is called Death Whispers, and it is the Death series, and this is by Tamara Rose Blodgett, and it was so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a YA, and you have these kids that some kids are special, some aren't, and so the special ones go to a special magic school so they can manipulate like the elements and things like that. And our main character is a necromancer, and it was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to get to the rest of the series. I believe I own the first 6 books in the series, and I think there's 8 total in the series, so there's 2 more I gotta find. But I definitely want to continue. Even if I just finish the first 3, then that would be amazing. Next series that I want to complete in 2026, because I'm almost done, little spoiler, and that is The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I have finished the first 3 books, and I think there's 1 left, and that is Winter. And that's the main novels. I think there's some novellas, graphic novels, short stories, something in there as well. If I can find those, I will read those as well. As long as I finish Winter, then I will count that as a win. Next up is the Between Earth and Sky series by Rebecca Roanhorse, and I finished Black Sun in 2025. I also finished Fevered Star in 2025, which means I only have Mirrored Heavens left in the series. So just 1 book left, and so I definitely need to finish this in 2026. It is a very good, very interesting book. You have mythology in there, like the gods, and then creatures, so you have like sirens and things like that. It's a very interesting series. So I love our main character and the different people he kind of comes across throughout the series. And then lastly, my 26th series that I want to finish in 2026 is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I have finished the first 2 books, and I believe there's 4. There might be some novellas, I'm not sure, but I think there's 4. So I hope to at least get to the 3rd book, if not complete the whole series. And then, because I had a hard time narrowing down this series that I wanted to read, I have a couple bonus extras. And if I get to these, great. If I don't, then that's totally fine as well. The first one is The War Arts Saga by Wesley Chu, and that starts with The Art of Prophecy. I believe there's 3 books in this series, and I haven't read any of them yet. So this would be starting and finishing a brand new series in 2026. So there we go. The next one is the Abortion series by Garth Nix, and the first book is Sabriel. I want to get to at least the first book because there's 5 in the series, so I probably won't finish the series, but I want to try and at least get to the first book, Sabriel, and maybe the second book as well. The next bonus series is the Dark Shore series by Elliot Brooks, a fellow booktuber here on YouTube, and the second book is Remnants of Dawn. I loved Peace and Turmoil, and I really want to know what happens with all of the characters and where the plot goes. Really want to see where she takes the story and how all of the characters weave throughout. And yeah, I loved Peace and Turmoil, and I can't wait to get to Remnants of Dawn by Elliot Brooks. Next up, I would like to at least start the Rook and Rose series by M.A. Carrick, and that is The Mask of Mirrors. Now, I do have the other 2 books here, and if I could finish the series, that would be amazing, but I at least want to get to the first book, and I think this also works for an Our Fantasy Bingo prompt, so that would be helpful. And then lastly on this little bonus list, that is Mother of Learning by Domagoj Kermiak. Now I have read volume 1, but I still need to get to volume 2, as well as volumes 3 and 4. But as long as I get to volume 2, I will be happy, but I would like to get to the other 2 volumes here as well, try and finish out the series. That is the 26 plus a couple bonus series I would like to complete in 2026, or at least continue. My goal is to complete 13 of these series, and the other 13 just continue. That way it's not too stressful or too crazy in 2026 in trying to finish all of these. I want to actually enjoy them and not just read them to get through them. And I think for the most part, there are some where I only have 1 or 2 books left. Like Between Earth and Sky, there's only 1. Lunar Chronicles, there's 1, so there's 2. Murderbot Diaries, I only have a couple left in that, so that one shouldn't be too bad. Something is Killing the Children and Saga, I should be able to at least catch up to the ones I can get my hands on. Emaneska, I just have the 2 left, that shouldn't be too bad. And the Moon Dwellers, I think those ones, possibly the Percy Jackson maybe. Yeah, there's a few that shouldn't be too hard to finish in 2026, so wish me luck. That my TBR game will actually let me choose some books instead of like in January, where it chose 75% of the books for me. So yeah. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I appreciate that you all come and hang out with me every week. And make sure you like this video because that does help me out quite a bit, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other bookish content. And if you made it this far in the video, leave a book stack emoji down in the comments below to let me know that you were here. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!